Hello there, beautiful people. My name is Justin Taylor. You're here at Firestorm. Today, we're gonna learn how to power walk. Oh man, I totally ate crap. That's okay, I'll take it all. I need the glasses, you know. In stride. See a side that does that, or what's the name of that one that does the thing with the glasses and the guy? Is that a maybe? Is that a, what is, do you not know? I don't know. Do you know the guy who does glasses? He's like, yeah! Okay, that was a really horrible stride joke, because we're gonna be doing striding. It's like power walking, only, you know, for people that aren't, like, what am I allowed to say about people that do power walking that won't get me in trouble? I don't know. So we're not gonna power walk, we're gonna stride. It's like running, but you know, with precision. All right, well, this has been really awkward. I'm just gonna go do the tutorial now. Goodbye. All right, many of you have played Mario Brothers. Super awesome game, and you see Mario, right? He is always, woohoo, ha-ha! It's almost kind of like that land behind you, but definitely not for copyright purposes. Just similar, but definitely not the same thing. So, like Mario, we are going to be learning how to do those big giant strides. You can even notice when you play that game, he is swinging that arm and driving the opposite knee, and that is what a stride is. A stride is our ability to run, but to land in a position that allows us to rebound and continue with additional power. The other really important thing is it allows us to do it on objects. When you're just running on the ground, a lot of times we're bending our knee, pushing off our calves, and just kind of swinging our foot in front of us to our next step. When we do strides, we are talking about picking actual objects. We would like to pretend that these are pillars 10 feet above the ground, and we need to land precisely on top of each of these in a safe manner, but also in a manner that allows us to absorb and continue the power. So when I do a stride, what I'm looking for a bit here is the ability to land on my toes and rebound and continue all of that power to the next step. So there are some really important things that have to be known about strides. When you do it on something like this, it's really simple. I recommend very intensely that you do it on flat ground in the beginning. It is a little confusing until you're used to it, and I see a lot of people that do this incorrectly and end up rolling an ankle or falling down, hurting a toe, something like that. So let's go over the most common thing, right? Let's pretend the ground is lava. Though not really, because it would burn through this mat instantly and I would die. And I'd have the whole Schmeagle thing. And I don't even have a Precious. So that would be pointless. All right, moving right along. I just figured we'd do a different type of nerd joke this week, because last time it was Thor Ragnarok. You know, so we had Marvel, and now we have Lord of the Rings. And you... Felicia, don't interrupt me. Bye, girl. So when we do this, a very common thing is to want to protect yourself. It's just like when we talked about doing a wall run or something, right? That natural instinct is put those arms out in front of you and protect yourself, like in our past tutorials for wall runs. When people do their strides and they're jumping, especially to one foot, they have the desire to put that foot in front of them to connect with that next guy as quickly as possible. Here, like this. Now look at this body position. Even if I land on this foot, all of my weight is behind me. I'm gonna bend at the waist and I'm gonna fall down. I am not able to continue running or producing power from here. So here is the secret to striding. Number one, we are swinging the opposite arm and opposite knee every single time we are taking off. A really good way to practice this is to do it in place, all right? I'm swinging my knee, swinging my arm. Notice I'm just bringing them forward and backwards in front of me. I can switch. Whoop. This is just allowing me to get used to the mechanics that are going to be happening while I'm in the air. If you feel uncomfortable doing that, you should not do it while running, because you will probably fall down and go boom. And as always, if you do, please link me that video, because I enjoy a good chuckle. So when I do this, you guys will notice when we're doing this thing right here, right? My knee is a little bent because I'm getting ready to jump, like I'm going to pop into the next one. But notice my weight and my body is centered over my foot. This is the position we need to land a stride in to be able to take off of, right? I can't start with my foot here and try to, oh God, this is not going to work at all. Straight! It just does not function. All that's going to happen is you're going to hit that foot, hurt it, and then you're going to fall down. So when I do this, I'm going to step across these three. I'm gonna stop on each one and freeze, and I want you to see the position my body's in. As I step off here, all right, and I'm swinging that knee and arm, as I land, look at this position right here. All right, my weight and my body is centered over this foot, which is bent and ready to jump. As I land here, I have my other leg behind me and this arm behind me, so opposite sides, just like before, and I'm gonna swing both of those to the next one. And as I land, again, here I am on my toe, on the pad of my foot, bent leg, chest up, I am balanced over this foot, so I can continue that power. As long as when I land, I am centered like this over my weight, or my weight over my foot, I can continue that energy because my leg absorbs and pushes forward like a rolling ball. If that foot is in front and I hit that object and my weight is behind me, it's just gonna slide down into the object and I'm gonna slam in that object, and it's not gonna feel very good. So when we do these strides, remember, swinging the knee, no pointed toes, toes up so we can land on the pad of that foot, and the goal will be as soon as I start to land, I'm already swinging the next leg. Very much like Mario Brothers. Why not? I did this a few weeks ago. Let's do a little bit of mathematics. You guys all know your sine waves, all right? If any of you people that do like parabolas, we even had a parabola last time, it's cool. But a sine wave, it goes up, down, that's your stride mechanics, okay? When we do this, we're swinging the knee up and trying to get a little bit of height. Now it's important to keep in mind here, you have to be able, through practice, to determine how high you want to swing and jump versus the distance you are going, all right? If I'm going a little distance like this, I do not need a lot of height. In fact, if I give myself a crap ton of height, I am dropping straight down on one leg, like a one leg precision, and then trying to swing and jump to the next one. That can be really difficult because I'm a big, giant, heavy guy. I don't know how heavy you are, but I guarantee if you jump straight down and land on one leg, it will be hard to continue your momentum. So on something like this, I would not be jumping as high as I can, although I'm not gonna be swinging that toe forward because I don't wanna do this guy, and then try to swing. I'm still gonna be leaning forward with my weight over my leg that is landing, but what I'm gonna be doing is just not doing it as high because there's not as much distance here. Now if I suddenly crank these guys up another, 2, 3, whatever feet away, I will need a little bit more height between each jump to help me gap that distance to get all the way over it. So I'd come in here. Notice when I land there though, even with that extra distance, I am not putting the foot out to absorb in front of me. I'm not doing a pounce or a cat or half cat. I'm trying to land, again, over that weight so I can continue that momentum. If you bring that foot in front of you, it will slow you down and you will not be able to continue that momentum. You will not make a second jump. You may not even land the first one. It's gonna be no good. Let's come on over here real quick and we're gonna pull this little guy out. Oh yeah! Parking block. All right, our beautiful parking block here. After you're feeling pretty good about your stride mechanics on flat ground, it's time to do it onto an object. Remember, we talked about how this is being done precisely. So I want to be able to precisely take off and land on an object. This is where it starts to get a bit more intense. You want to get really intense? You go stride the top of the bars. That is actually one of my favorite things to do. It is tons of fun, but when you mess up, you fall to a horrific death. I am the ghost of Justin. But when we do this, we need to make sure we're landing near the pad of our foot. You can imagine if I'm striding onto here and I land on the arch of my foot, especially with a big jump, I am not gonna be feeling good. If I land on my heel, that is a heel bruise. I am out from walking normally for like 3 or 4 weeks. So a good idea is to start small. I start right here, and I'm just gonna practice landing on this with one foot and striding off of it. There's a couple different ways you can get into that. I can start from a precision, feet together, jump, and land in my stride position. I can start from a swing position. I can go here, pretend like I'm actually striding right here. Stride, stride, and go. I can stride it on flat ground and then add that into my strides. Oh, that was pretty small strides. We'll try that again. Now, an important thing to keep in mind, guys, come on over here real quick, is when we're doing these strides, we'll use one of these little guys as an example. Sometimes when you're striding, not everything is flat. Sometimes you're striding up or down objects. If you are striding down an object, be careful. You're going to come down with a lot more force. Every bit that you fall, you are accelerating. When you're accelerating, you're not just adding a little more momentum in, you're adding a crap ton more momentum and weight into your body, the force at which you're going to hit, and you're going to have to absorb with. Down strides are a lot more difficult than up strides. If you are striding up an object, let's say from this guy to this guy to this guy, there was a bunch of people here at Open Gym last night, right? Run, stride, stride, precision. When you're doing that, unlike before, where I'd be swinging my knee forward with that toe up, these guys, when you're going up something like this, I'm going to be bringing that knee quite a bit higher. I'm sacrificing that forward distance for extra height. It's all about the angle of your knee in comparison to your hip. If I'm going for distance, I'm going to be swinging that knee almost straight out in front of my hip, maybe a little up. If I'm going something where I'm going up really high, I'm going to be swinging that knee much higher up in the air. All right, the other nice thing about that when we're up striding with a high knee is now I'm totally prepared for a good crane position, pounce, a cat, half cat, any of those things. So make sure when you guys decide to start practicing your strides, start small, focus on landing on the pad of your foot, and every time you land, see if you can stall in what's called a scale position. And I don't necessarily mean like a gymnastics scale, you know, where you're here and you're just, boom, locking that out or whatever, because obviously we're not going to do our strides like that. But in that position where I'm on my toe, and I'm here, and I am ready to swing into my next stride. If you can land balanced and you're not falling backwards or forwards, you know that you've landed in a good position and you have control of your momentum. And as always, our goal here is not to be the most powerful, but to have the most amount of control so we can learn as many different things as possible while staying as safe as possible. Sound good? Oh my gosh, yeah, I thought so too. I'm just so glad you guys agree. It makes me feel validated. You know what else makes me feel validated? Then you leave the comments, you like the video, you push the button where the guy goes, aha! Although I'm pretty sure that might actually just be Fallout and not Facebook, but we're just gonna pretend like it is. Subscribing, that's cool. Like a newsletter or something, you know, where you pay a monthly fee, except for here it's free. So there you go, you're welcome. Or maybe I'm welcome, I don't know. And commenting, that's nice. You can tell me, you know, that my hair looks pretty today, or that I should probably stop No Shave November because we're like 7 days deep and getting a little scruffy and the lights coming in and people know that I'm not just a cute little teenage boy anymore. And we get the like, the comment, the subscribe, and yeah, share. Tell a friend, let them know what's going on about stuff and things and striding. If nothing else, you can let your friend know by, you know, getting in that stride position and then just kicking them in the butt. Although I highly recommend you don't stride your foot into their butt because it's probably going to smell bad and weird, and I am just rambling. So, this has been a pleasure. I've been saying a lot and just looking off to the side like I have something prepared that I'm moving on to, but I really don't. So, I love your beautiful faces, and everybody say hi to Hulk again. He came back, he's just kind of hanging out. He brought a friend this time though. A little spider guy over there. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that guy looks pretty jacked for a 15-year-old. I'm just saying, supposed to be in high school, skinny little kid. He's looking pretty jacked. I don't know, kids, stay off the spider steroids, I guess. I don't know.